Good evening, everyone. This is Pastor Devin Miller, and you are watching Q&A with Pastor D on TikTok and Q&A with Pastor Devin Miller on YouTube. Um, it's been a crazy week, not a good one for our country, especially if you saw what happened today in the Oval Office. We're going to talk about it. And I'm not going to be on here long because I only got 31% on my phone. So come on in. Black Casper, God bless you. GP, God bless you. Lexi, God bless you. Hope all is well. I don't know what a phone means, but God bless you. Zak Ahmed. I don't play any games because we're living in very serious times. So this is really a sad day for America. Dustin, God bless you, sir.
God bless you.
This is a very sad day for America.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I've been watching the news most of the afternoon, and I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. This doesn't have anything to do with whether you voted for Trump or didn't vote for Trump. There is a certain decorum and respect that the Oval Office requires, and the people who are in that Oval Office should honor, no matter what. And what we witness and are continuing to witness on the news is a disgrace.
Yes, it is.
And I'm open to views tonight, but he's only been in office a month, a little over 8 days over a month, 7 days over a month. And to berate a world leader like he did Zelensky was nothing short of disgraceful. Starting with J.D. Vance poking the bear, as it were, to rile up Trump to say what he said is disgraceful. There's no reason for what we witnessed to have taken place.
No, there's not.
Zelensky is representing a country that is in war right now.
That's correct.
People, while they were going back and forth, people were dying. And to take a position that really had nothing to do with the war as much as it did to strong arm Zelensky because of the war to sign a mineral deal.
Yes, sir.
Because he lied yet again about how much aid we have given to the war. First of all, we don't have boots on the ground. Second of all, he gave military aid, which was basically equipment. Third, It wasn't 350 billion, it's 119 billion. He keeps inflating the numbers. And that was proven 2 nights ago. And this is in the backdrop of the worst budget that has been presented. Okay, 183. It's still not 350.
Can I just
go ahead?
Can I just say that there was a budget thing passed? I think that it was passed, and there's also a thing that was passed that will affect me heavily, and that is Medicaid. And they're going to cut Medicaid in the next 3 months. So that I guess it passed in the budget cuts today. So
oh yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, it's all encompassing of, because he was pushing that budget. Yeah. So, but at the same time, he's also losing every federal injunction that's going on.
Okay.
So, and remember, for those who are coming and saying, let's talk about Jesus. This is Q&A with Pastor D. Now we talk all things. And this is my opportunity to give you an opportunity to speak on things, because you're not going to speak on MSNBC. You're not going to speak on CNN. They're not going to invite you to give your comments or opinions. But we do here on political stuff as well as spiritual stuff. So it's not just, again, I have to say this every time I do my show on Fridays, just because I'm a pastor does not mean I am not political. Okay. Now, do I take a position? I take a position as being independent. I lean liberal, but I don't give my allegiance to the Democratic Party, because they got problems too. Okay. All of the parties got problems when you allow men to be in charge of power. The Deedle, show me numbers. Because what I've seen is, while we may have been giving more than other countries, all the other European countries totally support Zelensky in the war against Russia.
Yes,
so I really don't care how much money is involved. It's really about the protection of democracy. And if you're watching, instead of watching Truth Social, listening to Truth Social and Newsmax and all those other totally right, well, I had a Freudian slip, right-wing news outlets, including Fox, they are all saying that Trump is saying exactly what Putin wants. And I've said this before, long before this happened. If you really look at the record of Trump and not just believe the rhetoric that he says, he has been in cahoots with Russia since the first term. Because let's remember, folks, this is not a savvy businessman. Check his record. And he was broke, literally, maybe not on paper, but he did not have any money, liquidity, let's say that he could touch before he got into the election. And the reason why, let's be real, he ran for the office was because there was already some feds knocking at the door. That's why when he got out of office, he went right into the courts.
And he ran just because he didn't want to go to jail.
He didn't want to go to jail.
Sorry to say that.
It's the truth. Everything he touched turned to dust. And he had ran out of places to borrow money. No one would give him a loan except Russia. And there was the talk of a Trump Tower in Russia right along the same time that he was running for office. Manifold, his campaign manager,
I didn't know that.
was a Russian operative. He had just worked his magic to get elected a Russian guy in Russia. And then all of a sudden, he becomes his campaign manager for running for president in 2016?
2016, yes. Yes, sir.
But and it was the building of the rhetoric. Because in order for him to stay out, he had to rally the Republicans in such a way that no one would go against him. That's why he started digging and talking about Cruz, talking about what's the guy from Jersey, the former governor of Jersey, talking about Marco Rubio. And look, isn't it ironic that Marco Rubio is now his Secretary of State? Okay, hiding Johnson. So should USA pay for Ukraine taxpayers? Do we want Russia to continue to move across Europe? That's the question. Because Russian aggression, what price tag would you put on that to stop Russian aggression? It's just like, okay, well, I see in your name. I'm not even going to go and comment on that. You go ahead. First of all, let's break down that whole debacle in the Oval Office. Number one, and maybe you can help me answer this. Why was Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend in the Oval Office as a reporter, allegedly, and the only question he could ask was, why don't you wear a suit? I mean, have we become that petty that we talk about world leaders' dress as opposed to the purpose for which we're there? And I would still question why he was there in the first place. Who is he? And I'm just going on news reports that I get across my phone and all of that. But there was no reason. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's the same thing that you get I see it every day on a daily basis.
Yeah, there was no reason. That was not the purpose for which we're there, to have a dress code. This man is in the middle of a war. Do you think he really has time to think about what he's wearing? And if it meets the approval of the men and or women that were in that room? Let me bring on and Positive Talk Space and Ronnie Long. Now, remember, when I bring folks on, this is to really talk about stuff. This is not, we don't argue. We may debate.
I really appreciate the opportunity. I am a veteran.
Okay.
So I am more than glad, and I work for the federal government. So I am asking everybody, please, to help us out. Especially, I work with vulnerable veterans, elderly veterans that are homeless. And right now, I'm a veteran, and I'm scared for everything. And I have my daughter who's serving, who has just been informed, and I have the memo and I will not post it, but
No, we don't do that.
they're going to start using, I am a provider, I am a mental health provider, and they are using the DSM. They're weaponizing everything possible, making an excuse for everything, and we need to stay strong because their love is different than what we love and appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Their love of money.
That's it.
Money is not, you're not going to even take your fingernails when you leave. But I can promise this as a soldier, I will stand firm because they talk about domestic and foreign terrorists. But here we are dealing, and I'm putting myself out here because I really believe once a soldier, always a soldier.
Right.
2 of my kids have served proudly. My ex-husband served 26 years. I served. And to see this, it's appalling. It's scary. It's not scary for me because I'm okay.
Right.
I've made my peace.
Right.
This world is not mine. It was never intended. We were here meant to enjoy it and experience it and live as a community and help each other. Right. But they've created such an individualistic society separating us.
Mm-hmm.
Today, if everybody's been paying attention, they're slowly but surely infiltrating the government and chopping everything away. And today they announced that teachers are police and everybody's got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Teachers have been informed they're going to start punishing, and they've made a website for everybody for the they don't understand. They don't understand that teachers, there are great teachers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're scared because now they've been informed that if you in any way, shape, or form talk about
DEI, right.
And I was part of it.
Yep.
And it's horrible. If they remove that, what are your protections for your children, for your females, for your daughters? And I'm exclaiming this because I love my children,
mm-hmm.
and I will fight for your children too.
Yes.
But they are being placed in a bad situation in the U.S. military right now. They were all given a memo. So now they're trying to use the gender dysphoria. They're trying to weaponize the medical DSM that we use to protect every client.
Right.
So I really, for the people that think that this is a game and a joke, no,
mm-hmm.
It's not. For my son who went to Ukraine prior to the Ukraine war starting and training soldiers, and I'm sharing this information because it did happen, and because he's disabled because of it. He went there he went there before the war started, and the war is still happening. Mm-hmm. He went to train soldiers, and there is a lot of soldiers that I meet Monday through Friday that are homeless, living out there in the street, that we're trying to help house, that are not right now. They're not messing so much with us, but they're chopping the places that they can chop to see how much you guys are going to tolerate and put up with.
Mm-hmm.
What is going to be enough for everybody to say enough is enough?
Right.
Enough is enough. So when they strip you away from the hard-earned money that you've put away in Social Security, just like myself,
mm-hmm.
They are talking about it. It's already there.
Yeah.
So if people are still under the impression that they're powerful. Power is love. Power is not money.
Okay.
Power is not going to take you to heaven. Love, being what we were meant to do in this planet, is take care of each other. Is what, that's why I joined the service, and this is why I still serve the most vulnerable population out there, our Vietnam vets. And I'm begging, please do your due diligence. Don't just pay attention to anybody that shines something, because guess what? Right now, they're about to get rid of folks that have fought alongside of us.
Put your mute on, please.
Okay? My daughter, and I have the document. They're going to start getting rid of. They have given 60 days.
Wow.
60 days for anybody that has had a sex change. This is talking about
The
West Point,
transgender,
all the
yeah.
academies, everybody, and anybody in every department that is serving military service branch, academies, all of that. You're no longer allowed. So you either conform
Right.
to male or female.
Right. Well, he did that.
And if you've already had a gender change, you're going to be exited out from the service.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, somebody that's willing to give their life, even, it doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter, because people, when we deploy, what matters, it's that camaraderie. It's building that love.
And your preparedness. I mean, are you prepared for war? Not just what you are.
1950 something, when they try to remove the benefits from veterans, we went crazy. So they're really plotting this thing. But now, look it up, please. Teachers. If this is going by the Bible. You know, they're going by the Bible because, you know, God created Adam and Eve. And
Let me hold on. Now, wait. Let me set some ground rules first of all.
Okay, and I apologize.
Yeah,
but all I'm
we don't go back and forth unless I allow it. Okay, because we don't do that. This is not a debate.
So that's all of my piece. I'm saying my piece.
All right.
And I'm asking you guys to please reach out to every VA right now, because we have a lot, if without us, social workers, a lot of our elderly vets that are living, they have zero family member to support them, are going to die. With, you know, we visit them weekly because they're more for the veterans. Ma'am, I'm just begging, please reach out to your congressperson and let them know how this is going to affect. Now, children, they don't understand, but if we're going to start instilling hate in schools and people are going to be allowed, they've created a website to report the teachers that are teaching DEI, teaching inclusion, teaching how to be equity for everybody.
Right.
So look it up. They've already created that website. So that's all my piece.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I'm asking and begging for support.
Thank you. Okay, and most definitely.
You guys.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Myself out here. I'm not supposed to.
Okay. Well, that's what we're here for.
What?
We're here to protect.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
I was forced. I'm just saying, to make those 5 bullet points.
No worries. No worries. No, I appreciate you.
And we were going to get fired. And I'm putting myself out here because somebody has to do it.
Right. Okay.
My daughter.
We hear you.
And for every female and every man out there that doesn't believe in this craziness.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Remove me if you want to.
No. You can just put yourself on mute. You're good. Ronnie, what you got to say, sir? Tell me your city and state. I didn't ask that before. Give me a city and state, and then what's your comment?
Pennsylvania. My comment is that in the news today that it was a setup. And I'll tell you why. Because back during the debate, the disastrous debate, Trump was asked a question about his communications with Putin about the war. And he mentioned that they had been in contact and he liked the way that it was going. So nobody in the media pushed back on Trump. What? Meeting with Putin? How are you? You know, nobody pushed back. But we knew all along that Trump was a puppet to Putin.
Oh, yeah.
And Putin has something on him. When Trump spouted out those words, Russia, 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 he was trying to mimic the Brady Bunch. If you remember the Brady Bunch, when they said, Marsha, 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 it became like he just pushed this button here. Russia, Russia, Russia. It's all a hoax. It's all a hoax. No, it wasn't a hoax. It was true. And we saw it. Unfortunately, a lot of people, too many people, started drinking Trump Kool-Aid and giving him what they call a mulligan. Well, he didn't. Well, no, he was just joking. You know, he said he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. Well, now he can't because this controlled Supreme Court gave him immunity to do that. But I'm surprised that those truckers had gotten it yet. I mean, it's like, wait, how much more do you need? You knew this was coming. You knew who you were voting for. And I would go a step further and say that, personally, because of all of my paranoia, I believe this election was rigged by Trump and Elon. I mean,
well, he's so much as, not to cut you off, hold your thought, but he so much as admitted it in one of his rallies. You know, I mean, during the campaign or after the campaign, because I think it was over by that time. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think it was before. But he said, you know, he knows a lot about those computers. He came to Pennsylvania and he knew a lot about those computers, and we won Pennsylvania in a landslide. I mean, he literally, you can go back and check the record. He said that.
That's everything. All you have to do is listen to him, and you can know what he means.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's a grifter. We all know that he's a grifter.
The record shows it.
But when he came in, appointing all these screwballs to all of these top positions, he had the house, and he knew that they were going to back him.
Right.
You know, Trump said during the election, "Look, just vote for me this one last time, and you won't have to do it.
You won't have to do it again."
It's over, you know.
Yep.
It's over. Yeah, and I'm afraid that his projection about that is true because he's old now. His life is old, and he don't care about anybody. He don't even care about
except about well, he cares about putting it in his pocket.
Right, but when he feels like okay, he can't do it anymore, he won't have anything to lose. He's talking about World War III.
Yeah, that's scary. That kind of scared me today.
It's not just he's ignorant because Trump is a genius. He's the best con man that ever conned in the history of conning. But
he doesn't seem real smart, does he?
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna get to you, Jan. I'm gonna get to you.
But when he says these things, you have to take him at his word. You have to listen to him to really hear him because he projects. He projects what he really means. But I'm watching all these Trumpers now dwindle because they see that this was serious, especially all the federal workers who lost their jobs. They didn't see this coming.
Well, they didn't want to see it coming because they thought that the whole DEI push and the whole the whole Doge thing was twofold. One, it was to quote unquote give the American people the impression that they were about government spending when they were not. Number two, it was about, the distraction. We've got a bad, the border and illegals and all this kind of stuff. All of that was a diversion to what they really wanted to do.
Right. And a lot of people bought into it, and they're now finding out.
Yeah.
He is who he showed you he was.
Exactly.
It really took it to get this close to home before people got it. But it's here.
Exactly. All right, sir. I got to move on to the other folks that are on here because I'm not going to be on here all night. I've got a habit of being on for 3 hours, and it's not going to happen. Jan, tell me the city and state you're from, and what's your comment?
Well, I'm from Plummerville, Arkansas, and I just want to talk about, really right now, it needs to be about the American people and families, because I feel like they're doing all this stuff behind the scenes, but they're doing nothing for the economy. I mean, we're looking at the gas prices still high. We're looking at the price of eggs high. I mean, families are struggling out there. This is what's important.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that it's really sad the way they did those people, even though they may have been overspending or whatever, all the government people they laid off. They could have done that a little bit better. They could have had more I mean, they should have gave them a notice, and they shouldn't have just locked them out. That was rude.
Well,
I think we need to have more compassion for one another as Americans. I mean, we're supposed to be the strongest country. I mean, we need to show more love for one another, and he needs to do more for the American people, in my opinion. I really wasn't for either party.
right.
I just honestly, I just think that, we're definitely living in the end times. It's I mean, you can look at the Bible, it's coming off the pages.
Yeah.
I mean, Revelations.
Oh, yeah.
And things happening. But I think, it tells us how many times in the Bible that fear not. Is it like 365 times?
Yeah, something like that.
We're not supposed to be living in fear right now.
Right.
As Christians, we need to let our light shine. We need to help one another, like that lady helping the veterans. I mean, we need to help one another, love one another, do what we can do to show compassion and love for one another right now during these times.
Right.
We, because the American people, we make up this country. It's not just that one leader. And you got to remember, he's not in charge. God is in control.
Most definitely. And
God is in control.
Yeah, and what I would say, because I'm looking at the comments, and thank you for yours, Jan. This is a wonderful opportunity for the church.
Yes.
If you really, because we're supposed to take care of the poor, we're supposed to take care of the widow, we're supposed to take care of the orphan. But we're so busy trying to figure out how we, when I say we, I'm not indicting everybody. Don't come on here talking about my church. I'm not talking about your church if they're doing what's supposed to be done. But I'm saying the universal church has so much infighting going on. Now, I'm from Texas. I'm in Texas. I'm not from Texas. I live in Texas. You all heard about Gateway and Robert Morris and all that stuff that went on, and Tony Evans and what went on with him, and all these mega churches that are falling by the wayside.
Yes.
And yet we still have a homeless issue. You heard about when one of the hurricanes hit Houston and Joel Osteen didn't open up his church.
What was the Gateway thing again? I totally forgot about that.
He essayed a young lady and lied about it for over 20-something years.
Oh yeah, now I remember that. That's
watch your language, please. Just watch your language.
I'm
you're good. But my point is, we as the body of Christ have an opportunity to really be the body of Christ, but the body is sick. And until we get our heads together, I'm not saying that Trump is the savior. I'm not saying Trump is the be-all, end-all. I never put my confidence in man. That's what the Bible says. You put your confidence in God. But when I see people of God claiming to be people of God and cannot see what this man is doing, and we are not coming together to see what we can do as a counterculture, then I got a problem. As a pastor of 36 years, I have a problem. So I'm gonna get to you, Vince. Hold on, I got to finish Jan, and then I'm gonna come to you. So I'm going in order.
You need to wake up every morning. Of course, I wake up every morning before my feet hit that floor, and I say, "Thank you, God, for another day. How can I make a difference for your kingdom today?" Well, that's what we need to be doing. We need to be open up.
Exactly. That's
any way we can.
That's 100%. That's 100%. And that's my rally cry. But we got to know, I always teach that you got to know your enemy before you can defeat your enemy.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't go into a war blind. David and Goliath, David knew exactly who he was fighting, but he knew who was on his side.
Exactly.
Noah knew that he had never seen rain, but he was obedient and built the ark because he knew who was on his side.
We are living in days like you mentioned, Noah. We are in days like Noah. We've got, all the
craziness going on
in the weather. Yeah.
And I, she was talking about the transgender and all that. I love those people too. You know what I mean? I have a brother that's gay.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I hate the sin, but I love him.
That's it.
I love him.
That's it.
And I love everybody, no matter, but they're not going to be happy because it's not the way God designed it.
Yeah.
He's never happy. He's a gay man, but he's not happy because it's not the way God designed it. His plan is perfect. And if we will just follow that Bible the way he has instructed, we would save ourselves a lot of heartache.
Exactly. All right, Jen, thank you so much for your comments.
You're welcome. It was nice to meet you.
Same here. I hope you keep supporting us. Yes, all right, thank you. All right, Valion, go ahead. Give me your city and state and give me your comments.
Yeah, Jan kind of basically just, asked all the questions I was going to ask too, and, kind of talk on like the same topics and stuff like that. But, when Donald Trump was starting to get in like his, starting to do his second term or whatever he's doing right now, I was kind of going for it. But what he's doing with Palestinian people and stuff like that, I don't agree with that. I feel like he should give their land back to them and stuff. And, there's other things I don't agree with, but he's doing pretty good. But
well, let me push you a little bit. Let me push you just a little bit. Tell me what's good. What good has happened within the last month?
Like what Donald Trump's kind of
doing?
Or?
Yeah.
I don't agree with, bringing ICE to like schools and other stuff like that, but I definitely agree with, bringing people that are illegally in America and doing wrong. And, I'm a fifth generation Finnish person, so,
okay.
I'm not, I don't know, it's a very touchy subject on the immigration type stuff.
It is.
And I even have family members that are in Finland right now that are trying to come to America and stuff like that too, that are kind of having trouble with it because Donald Trump. But I would rather them come through here illegally in like the right way than trying to sneak through. And
right.
And if they were trying to sneak through, I don't want them to get hurt or and stuff like that.
Right. And I think on its face, no one wants anyone. I don't care if they're coming from the border. I don't care where they come from. Don't want you to come in illegally. Mm-hmm. On its face, that you shouldn't get an argument with that. Who would you want to come in illegally? Okay. But we are a country of laws.
Yeah.
We are based on a constitution. Whether you love it or like it is not a perfect document. It was not created to be a perfect document. That's why they make amendments. Because how it started in one way, it had to be amended in order to fit the times. I'm saying that to say, you have to look at, and this is Devin, this is my show, so I'm gonna give my opinion, okay? You have to ask yourself, why do they want to come to America? First.
It's the land of the free.
Okay, it's the land of the free, home of the brave, and the land of braves ain't won a penny in I don't know how long. But anyway, so yeah, they want something better than where they're at. Okay, on its face. I'm just talking on its face.
Yeah.
The other part of it is they have, and this is no disrespect, it's just facts. They have a work ethic that is far beyond anybody in these United States.
Yeah, and I was about to say they even have a better ethic. You know what I mean? Like a work ethic.
Exactly.
Than most Americans nowadays.
Exactly. And so most of them, because they want to do an honest work for an honest pay, which is American on its face. Okay, we won't get into the depth of equality and all that kind of stuff. But my point to all this is, and I go back to the election, and a lot of folks don't want to hear this part, but it's the truth. When they put a comprehensive border plan on the books in Congress that was bipartisan in nature, Donald Trump called Jim Jordan and told him to hold the plan, because I'm going to use it as leverage for my campaign.
Yeah, and see, like, I don't know. There's like, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't necessarily believe in any, like, you know, any type of group like that. But they both have really good, you know what I mean, like plans and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel no matter what, even if we had Kamala or Donald Trump, in the end, we were kind of gonna fuck up. Not gonna lie.
Well, we've never had. See, here's the thing. What is it? Valiant.
Yeah,
Valiant. We've never had a perfect president.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
And I'm the type of person that tells folks, as believers, we're not to depend on the government anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? You look at like Russia and China and stuff like that. They're just like, I don't know, people call them even worse than, you know what I mean, our presidents and stuff like that.
Sure.
But if you look at our presidents through like time and stuff, they've always started wars. They've always started like agendas on their own. Like they've always had their own type of reasonings for stuff.
Exactly.
They never had the thought of the American people. Like I live in Upper Michigan. Like I've grown up on fucking Section 8 food stamps and shit my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry to swear. But,
you're okay.
But you know what I mean? Like it's like those people that have this type of money, millionaires, billionaires, like they do not think about people like us, like just the general population and stuff like that. Like I don't know, it hurts my soul and my heart to think that like these people don't think about us like that, you know.
And to your point, sir, what bothers me the most is that for the most part, I'm not saying everybody, for the most part, these who are in charge and are making these laws and not looking out for the least, the left out, and the lonely will tell you up and down that they're Christian.
Yeah. When truly they're not.
When truly they're not. They're power hungry, grabbing people who love power. That's why for a true believer, here's what I would say. A true believer should not want to stay in office until they're almost dead. They should be looking for their successor.
That's like some dictator stuff.
Right.
That's like what Putin's doing.
Exactly. We should, and that's across the board, Republican or Democrat. We should not have somebody in the office that's been there for 20, 30 years.
That's mind-boggling. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone's in in presidency or in power for that long, don't you think they get like power hungry or something?
Right. Exactly. That's why I'm all for, term limits. I'm all for on all levels. I don't think you should have a governor that should be there for more than 2 terms or something like that. But my point is, where we are today and the position that America has always had, love it, hate it, whatever your opinion is, because the reason we live here is because we can have our opinions and no one's going to knock on your door and tell you not to have one. We have the freedom of expression. We have the freedom to do what I'm doing right now. No one's going to call my house. No one's going to knock on my door. But if we are not careful, we will be just like those countries who do not have freedom of expression.
I feel like if the government ever tried to do that to the USA, it would, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say it would want to be like a World War III, but like the American people would, you know what I mean? Like just go crazy. Like it would, I don't know, like the freedom of speech is, I don't know, whenever I see videos of like the UK and stuff like that, and like they get arrested for reposting something on Facebook or posting something on Facebook, I'm like, what?
Exactly.
That's insane to me.
But
you know
when
what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. But when you start to erode the press, and it's not a rotation, just like he did this week, and he said no longer will the press corps decide who goes to the press conferences and all of that kind of stuff. Now he wants to know, and they're going to choose who comes to the press conferences. You got the guy from Betso who's told the Washington Post that we will no longer take the opinions unless they're unless they're positive. I mean, is this America?
Not gonna lie, I don't even know what it's coming to anymore.
Exactly, and this is when
I knew this was gonna happen, even if
Well, I think we would have had a better chance. I don't, like I said, I don't put no trust in the president of the United States. I don't care who they are. I listen to who are you going to do more for the people, or are you going to do more for yourself? And so,
I mean,
and the writing has been there. You're cutting thousands and thousands of people from their jobs in the beginning of the year. Now, just the average person knows in the beginning of the year, everything is a little slow. You don't have the money. You're projecting.
It's fucked up that he cut everyone. I keep on forgetting that.
You're okay. You're okay.
It's so messed up that you know what I mean, obviously with the Doge and everything like that, there should be some stuff cut, but you should have gave him at least you know what I mean, a couple months or something notice.
Exactly.
Or something. But there's other things what was it? I just seen a video on Elon Musk talking about cutting funding or something like that for Ebola or something like that, and he's like, whenever we cut something, and then what I mean, we'll make a mistake, we'll get right back to it, and then he refunded that and stuff. I mean, he's doing all right, but I don't know. I feel like a very